Fantastic. Hi, and we are live, which is fantastic. And hello and welcome. We're just going to wait a couple of minutes because we've got another couple of people due to join us in a minute or two. So we'll give them a couple of minutes just to come into the room so that they don't miss anything. We've got a couple of you here already. Would you like to tell us whereabouts you're attending from? Which part of, are you Devon? Are you Teambridge? Or have you come through one of our other links to join us today? So there is a chat facility just on the right-hand side of your screen. You can click and chat and type that. You can choose to send that to everybody, or you can send it to just us so that nobody else sees. Just to let you know, as a bit of housekeeping, this webinar is being recorded, but the chat does not get shown in the recording. So we'll keep any questions you ask as anonymous, unless you've sort of said that that's okay for us to do it. So great. Hello. That's lovely to see the hello, everybody in there. So before we actually start, let me introduce us. So I'm Jackie. I'm actually the founder of aDoddle, from If Everyone Cares. And this is Andy, and Andy is my support team. So he's here, especially because I'm dyslexic. And if you write any questions in the chat for us, which I'm inviting you to do, I wouldn't want to miss them. And so Andy will ask me at the end when I've shown that, or even during the session if you've got questions during it. So welcome. Lovely to see you, or well, not see you, but lovely to be here with you. So I'm going to move the chat bar to one side. So Andy, can I ask you if any questions or comments come in to the chat from here on in, can you please tell me, because I can't see them. They're not going to distract me. So,
no worries, I will take a note down and we'll maybe look at some questions towards the end. So if you write your questions down and they're not answered during the session, we may save them to the end just so we can kind of flow through what's being shown at the time.
Thanks, Andy. I really appreciate your support. Just as an introduction, so as I said, I'm Jackie, and the purpose of today's session is to introduce you to aDoddle and how easy it is for you to add your profile to the map. And straight off, I know one question we've been asked time and time again, is it really free? Yes, it is. There is no hidden cost. There is nothing that's going to come in your inbox in 6 months' times that says, we're now going to charge you for doing this. It is totally free for you. It is about helping to raise your profile, to share what it is you do, and at the same time to help the people in communities to find you. Now, that might be somebody who needs your help and support. It might be somebody who wants to volunteer for you. It might be a local business that wants to support you. So we really encourage you to share in your profile the 5 key things that people want to know. And we've done huge amounts of research on this. And they want to know who you help, how you help, the difference you make, the help you need, and how to get in contact with you. And adding your profile to aDoddle helps you to share all of those things. And it's a bit like a shop window, helping people to find you, and totally free. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to go through the process of what you're going to see when you go to aDoddle. And if you've been there recently, you might see today that our homepage has actually changed and has been updated. So I'm going to start sharing my screen now. And this is where I have to choose the right one to make sure I get it correct. We did test this earlier. Right. So Andy, is my screen now up on the screen because I can't see your screen?
Yeah, see it nice and clear.
Fantastic. Thank you ever so much. So it literally is aDoddle.org. And to give you a little bit of history, we were originally called aDoddle, which stood for One Day, One Deed, One World. And we used to say to people when they said it sounded like an extinct bird, that no, we're just helping to breathe life back into communities. And a couple of years ago, Noel Edmonds made the suggestion of changing it to aDoddle. So I learned how to do trademarks. And 2 years ago, we actually got the official trademark. So it is official. And now if somebody's looking for help, wanting to help, finding places to connect with other people. It really is about making it aDoddle for them. So this is your homepage. This is where you'll come to. And we'll come back into this if any of you want to see more about how the search works and everything at the end. Please let me know and I will cover it. But the thing you're here for is about adding your profile to the map. That's easy. Come here and you'll see in the top right-hand corner, the green button that says Add to the Map. When you click on that, you have two options. Create your profile now, or find out a bit more about what the benefits are. So I'm going to show you these pages. So benefits of adding your profile. Literally, there's an information page here which actually helps you to remember why it's beneficial to you. So there's a very quick guide here that will remind you about how to add your profile and the importance of telling the story. It's about increased visibility for you, encouraging volunteers. It's a free profile page. It helps you to connect with other organisations, maybe for collaborative projects. And it's an opportunity to gain support from local businesses. And there's many more things. We also, if your profile is green, which I'll explain in a little while, we also will share your profile free through our social media channels, highlight you if it's relevant to something that's going on in the news. You might be a featured profile of the week, and then we'll do a blog on you as well. So there's a number of different ways that we can actually help. And if there's something specific, send us an email and then we'll retweet something for you or help you in other ways. So that's that page. So if you come back up, and I'm going to go to the add a project now. Now I've started this earlier so that I wouldn't take too long in doing this. And this is a test profile. You come to this page and it really is a bit like filling in a form. First one is, what's your project's name? What's your organisation called? So I've just put, this is a test project for now, just so I can show you. What is your mission? So it's something like supporting people with food parcels and other essentials. What is the key thing that you do? What type of project it is. Now there's a down button here. Are you a charity, a not-for-profit, community project, CIC or CIO, community building, an event or a community group? If you click on charity, a second box, or a CIC or CIO, a second box opens to ask you to put your registered charity number in. Okay, and that just helps with the verification that you are a real charity. Next section, so I'm just going to put in some numbers here for a minute. If you put yours in there. Then you think about what categories would people look for you under. So I'm going to put this one as food banks, and I'm going to find crisis support. But you choose as many as are relevant to your organisation. The next step, if you've chosen more than one category, there is a drop-down list here. Choose which one of these is your prime category. So I'm going to put food banks as this one. This becomes the icon that goes on your pinpoint on the map. The next few questions, fairly simple, and you tick as many as you want and as relevant to you. Is your service free? I'm going to put yes. This one, it's a food bank. No, it's not low cost. It is subsidised by people. It's not charged, but actually you'd appreciate donations if somebody's coming in to give you a donation. So let's click those. This one doesn't show on your profile, but it helps with, we're going to add another search criteria so that if somebody's looking for help. So think about, why is the person searching? Are they searching because they need help? So again, tick as many as are relevant. Is somebody searching because they want to volunteer? Is it another project thinking that they could collaborate with you? Are you interested in collaboration? If not, leave it unticked. But if you are, keep it ticked. Would you like support from a local business? So yeah, so if you haven't got that one ticked and that becomes a search criteria, they're looking for organisations that want support, then you might miss out. Is it somebody who's facing isolation and they want to connect? And does your organisation help people to be more connected and feel less isolated? Again, choose that if it's relevant. Contact details. This is the contact details that will become public. So this is what the public will see. You must have at least one. Now, a lot of organisations don't have a website. And that's fine. You can use your profile as a website. So it might be an email address. So I'm just going to put in here. I've got one in there. And you think about if you've got more contacts, just so if you've got social media, Twitter, Facebook, you can literally add each of these. If you have a donation page, please add it here. So add it and put the link in so that people can find your donation page. The only thing that we really say within profiles that we don't allow is you can't ask for direct money. If you are asking for direct money, it must go through a donation page. Okay, because then that way you've been verified by another organization. You have the ability to add your logo. And so all it is click browse, go to the folder where yours is, choose a logo and choose open. So that's going to change here in a second. There you are. And it gets up there. Next step is your location. So your location, you say you're a food bank and you don't want to put your location as a specific address. That is fine. What we suggest is put an address in that area, then click this button here, hide this address from the public. Then if you want to make any amendments to where the pinpoint is, so this one's here. So say you want to put it down here at Dawlish Warren, and you can make it even more focused by zooming in on the map. I don't think we'll put it at Lees Bar, but we might put it at Dawlish Warren here. We'll put it near the train station. So you can adjust that and put it exactly where is right. You have the ability to do that. You can also hide your address. So that's your location sorted. Next is setting up your actual account. This is the person who's responsible for the profile. So I've already added in some details. So you put your name. This does not become public. This is literally for us so we can get in contact with you, so we can send you reminders about updating your profile, so that, because I'll talk to you about the traffic light system in just a minute. If we can let you know about any updates, if there's an opportunity for us to feature you as a featured profile of the week, this gives us the ability to keep in contact with you. So actually, when these emails come through, we won't send them through very often. We're such a small team. We don't have a lot of time to do anything extra. We will not sell your details. We will not share them with anybody else. It is just between you and us. So that's there. You have the option. So you put in a password. Click to opt into our newsletter if you want to. It doesn't come out that often. Again, we're such a small team. At most, it would come out once a month, but it's more like every 6 months at the moment, because with everything that's going on in the world, we are incredibly busy. Next is our terms of service. Now, we've put them in plain English here, but you can view the long ones here. Basically, you are stating that this is a real project, that you are providing help, that the information you are sharing is accurate and correct. It does not contain any X-rated materials, that you will update the information if you've got any information that's changed. And so we send you a reminder once every 6 months to ask you to update it. And that you know that while you've got an active profile on the map, you know that you'll receive relevant emails that tell you about updates and everything else to update it. And there's one just because I've got a sense of humour at the end. I acknowledge that I possess common sense and know how to use it effectively. So sorry, that's just me trying to lighten the load. Then it's about accepting the terms and conditions. And I'm going to click join the newsletter, then I'll check it's all doing. Next step is literally click this. We're not quite done, but you've done step 1. So I'm not going to save that. And isn't that the nightmare I signed on earlier today? So what I'm going to do, that is every live webinar's nightmare. I'm going to come into aDoddle and I'm going to sign in to my account. That will teach me not to have set up a few hours earlier and have it automatically sign me out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you into a profile that is complete now. you will go to a page that says, congratulations, you've done the first bit, now finish off. And I'm definitely very stressed at this minute because that really wasn't meant to happen, and we tried it earlier and it was fine. I just tried it too early in the day and got signed out. I'm going to show you a live project that's finished setting up. Those key bits of information that you just added, so charity, the name of the group and everything else are here. That main category is here and the logo is here. The next bit is about filling in the rest of the information on the profile. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into what is the dashboard. The one page I'm not going to show you on here is the location one, because within that, I know that this profile is set to a hidden address. So I won't go back into there, but I did show it to you just now. So I don't want to give out somebody's details, but we have been given permission to share the back end of this profile. So I'm not doing anything GDPR wise. Everything you will see is actually what is shared on the public page. Just wanted to confirm I'm not breaking GDPR here. This is your dashboard. Now you can see with Bristol Grandparents Support Group that actually they're 100% complete, and all of these have a line through. So it shows you as soon as you've finished and completed a section, it puts a line through so you know if there's something you still need to add. The essentials is the bit that you added earlier. So it's the bit that you've already done. Your story is the next and the most important part, and there are 4 sections here. And you literally, if you've got the text already, you can copy and paste it into here, or you can just type in here. And you type in, what's your story? Think of who you help, why you help them, and the difference it makes. Add that here. The next section, and save. The next section is tell people about your service. How do you actually help? What is the one thing that you do, or the few things that you do that really help and make a difference? Click save. The next one, how can people help you? Do you need volunteers? Do you need somebody to come and paint a room? Do you need food parcels? What is it that you need? And if it's about financial, you can add, please feel free to make a donation. See the donation link in the contact section. But please don't ask directly for money in here for them to send it to you. It has to go through a donation page. The next bit is additional information. So is there any other information you want to share? Any other local resources that you know of that could help people? And again, click save. That's that done. Location, as I've said, we're not going to go back into there. Have you got specific opening hours? You can literally add one day at a time, but you can choose things like, is it the last Monday of every month? Is it the first Monday of every month? The second, the third, the fourth? You've got so many options here. Term time only, school holiday only, except bank holidays, appointment only and closed. You can literally choose the option that works for you. Change the day, change the time, and then add to the next one if it's different. And then save the opening hours. Contact. This is the contact that is made public. Okay, so I'm not sharing anything that is breaking GDPR again. So this organisation has put their telephone, their website, their email address, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and other. And their other is their Skype. There are so many options here. We have found through our research, the more options that you put there, if you've got them, your Twitter and your Facebook, allows people to come on and then go and look at you through your Twitter and your Facebook and get a feel of you as an organisation. And that can make a difference as to whether they contact you if they're facing a struggle or a crisis, or whether they contact you to support you because they get a feel of who you are as an organisation. The next one is the media and the gallery. And this is where if you need to change your logo, you can change your logo. That's here. But you can also create a gallery, share images, share pictures of leaflets of something that's happening, share pictures of groups, as long as you have permission from the people to share their photograph. The next section, you will have seen that this profile is very much branded to this organisation. you have the opportunity to come here and add a header image. We've got the size of it here. We recommend using Canva if you've got nothing else to use, and it's totally free. And I'll happily do a session on Canva if you want. You can choose a main color. I won't change it, but you can move this around, select your own color. If you've got a white logo, you can choose to set it that you have it as dark, so it will show your light logo, or light if you've got a colored logo, and then click Save. If you are an organization that is in multiple areas, so you have one main project, but you might have outreach workers that work in different areas, so you want to show that you're in another area as well, we have the ability to do that. You can literally come here and you can add what we call a CSV file, but there is another video on this to explain, and feel free to contact me if you need this. You can do that. It takes the master profile that you've just made and it duplicates it in the other areas. So it helps with that. And then the settings. And this is really important. Say, and especially with COVID, that you weren't running at the moment. You can choose to hide your profile so that only people who already had your URL would do it, but it wouldn't be found within a search. So the URL is still active, but it would take it out of the search functionality of aDoddle. You can also say, if you've just updated it or something like that, you don't want it to show in the recently updated. That's your choice, but we show the most recently updated projects in one of the search options. So again, you have full control over your profile. So let's go back and look at this profile. It's got its own color behind here. It's got its own header image. It's got each section as a little tab. So those sections that you filled out on the forms, you have the overview, what you do, volunteer, gallery, and additional information. Down the side, this will show you this project's address has been hidden. That's what it shows if you've hidden your address. Here are the opening hours. Again, you're in full control. And here is the contact. That's your profile. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen for a minute and see if we've got any questions. So I'll come back here and turn that off. And yeah, so Andy, are there any questions?
Yeah, just a little thing in the chat. If anyone's got any questions, could you just add them to the chat bar and I'll read them out as we go. There were a couple of things I think kind of messaged me privately asking if they have multiple locations, how does this work on this particular site?
Okay, so with that one, do you remember just now I showed you about where the duplicates were? So I'm going to give an example of Libraries Unlimited across Devon. Okay, so Libraries Unlimited, they have 51, I think it is, different libraries across the area and the region. But actually the basic information of the library is relevant for all of them. But they might have different opening hours for some of them, and that's fine. So they created a master profile. That master profile, they then uploaded what's called a CSV file, and there is a video on this, and I will also have calls with people and talk them through it so that they can do it if there's any confusion. That's fine. I know some people don't feel very tech savvy, but instead of doing 51 profiles, to be able to upload the other 50 locations is so easy, and it literally happens within seconds of you doing it. So you upload that and it then duplicates the master profile. You then have the ability with each of the profiles to go in and change the opening times if that's what's needed. You can add different ones, you can add different information, extra information. When we then send you an email through and say, please, can you update your profiles? You update the master profile, and that updates all of the other profiles. It doesn't update the extra information in those profiles that you've put. But it takes the bulk of the work away from you, meaning that you don't have to set up 51 profiles. You don't have to go in and update 51 profiles. We've made it as easy as possible. Every element of aDoddle's been built listening to research and feedback. we still ask for feedback so that we can make it even better again. I hope that answers that question. Andy, anything else?
Lovely, thank you. Yes, we've got just one come up. It said, obviously, you mentioned that there were benefits being featured and sharing on social media. What is your social media reach? And also, do you know how many people access aDoddle already in the Devon area?
So two answers to that. Our social media, our Twitter is, I think, about 12,000, something like that. Our Facebook's about 12,000. Our Twitter's about 10, 11,000. So it's not too bad at all. I think for, that's purely organic reach. We then get out through our newsletter if it's featured in the newsletter, and that's about another 1,300 people. So it's not huge at the moment, but it's still not bad. We get picked up by local news. So recently it was featured in, was it the Exmouth Journal or something like that? So it was featured in the Exmouth area, and we've had some other ones recently, because people are starting to realise community mapping and providing this information for people in a way that is easily accessible, similar format, makes it easy for people to know where to find the information is important. We don't have a figure yet for just Devon. Google Analytics has actually just updated. It's something called GA4, and we are in the process over the next 6 months we are going to be updating the whole back end with our analytics. What I can tell you, and this is purely organic reach, that last year aDoddle and the area maps that we have had just over 133,000 unique visitors and just over 493,000 page views. So I think we're getting that reach. It's about building that, and it is only growing more and more as we're working. So I hope that answers it. It is something we're looking at being able to do area by area. We can't tell you that at the moment because our priority has been on getting the maps out there and helping organisations to put that on there. We are a tiny organisation. We are run actually at the moment totally by volunteers. And we've won awards, which I'm really proud of. We've been named on the UK's Digital Leaders 100 list for potential social impact, because as of yet, there is no other network of area-based community maps in the UK. We are the first. We have 47 live maps at the moment. We have just been given a tiny pot of funding to do another 10 across the southwest. And I mean tiny pot of funding. It will cover our costs, nothing else. It's not going to pay anybody. We're all putting that in. So there will be 10 more. By the end of March, there will be 10 more southwest maps. So we're at 58. So I'm quite pleased. Any other questions, Andy? And did I answer that question well enough?
I think so. I think we covered all the points. Yeah, I don't think we got all the exact stats for Devon yet, but obviously it's something we'll look at in time. Okay, so here's another one just come up. Is there scope to add additional criteria for groups, for example, infrastructure organisation or a more general food support rather than food banks? This could include community fridges, for example, or food redistribution charities.
Yeah, and actually I had an amazing conversation with somebody last Friday to do with just this, and in fact I had a conversation with somebody else recently as well, and I was looking at some things, because actually we worked with the South Devon Food Alliance to help them to create their website, and we've dropped a map in there as well, but until organisations have got their profiles on the map, there's actually a list of them. But actually, that's a lot of work for somebody within an organisation to do and to maintain. The map actually makes it really simple, and our maps can be dropped in any website. So yes, and it's this area about food banks, the larders and things like that. I think that one of the areas we can do to improve it is maybe to have a master category that then has a drop-down list of some of the things that are included in that. But I'd like to actually have maybe a meeting with a number of organisations, so an online virtual meeting with a number of organisations, to hear more about what they do and that impact that they have, so that we can look at how we can improve that filtering and the categories there, because I definitely think it's somewhere that we can improve. So if anybody's up for us having a joint meeting and exploring that as to how we can best implement that in the next round of development, then please get in contact, because we're open to that. This is about empowering people and communities. It is the first people first network of area-based community maps. This is about the people and the organizations that are crucial to the infrastructure. They are the social fabric. So for those of you who are on here that run local organizations, I'm going to say I'm taking my hat off to you, because what you do makes a difference to people's lives every day. You change lives, and thank you. We're just helping people to find you and helping raise your profile. Sorry, off my soapbox now.
Sorry, we've got very nice and positive comments coming on. One, obviously, someone's looking to encourage their members to add themselves to aDoddle. Is there a recording of you running through how to do this so they can direct someone to that particular web link or web page?
So this one is going to be recorded today, and so I will make this recording available. As you can see, we've not shared any personal details about anybody, and I think that's really important. All that you saw with the Bristol Grandparent Support Group as a sample was everything that was made public, that is made public and is publicly available. Yes, and also at the beginning of the session, I showed you that page about the benefits of. There is a very brief 5-minute video that says about adding a profile. It does need to be updated because we've made a couple of changes. That is in the pipeline. So there's this one that talks through in a bit more. And I think that we came to this question time at about 22 minutes. So the first 5 minutes was spent talking. Then it was 22 minutes. You're talking about, it's a 15-minute window that actually explains all the aspects in greater detail. So yeah, why not? If we send you the link and tell people to start at this point, that's the beauty about videos, is you can tell them to start at this point and then they can finish at the Q&A if they want to. So yes.
Lovely. I think that's all questions that I can see here. Anything that comes up last minute that we miss, obviously, on this webinar, we'll pick up afterwards, but I think that's everything now covered.
Fantastic. So absolutely fine if somebody wants to leave now, no problems at all. What I thought I would do very quickly for 5 minutes, if you're interested and you're still there, is that I'd show you around aDoddle a little bit, because I've shown you about adding your profile, but I haven't shown you what aDoddle can do. And I think that's quite important. It's part of the journey. So I'm going to share my screen again, and I'm going to choose the right window. She says, hopefully. And I'm going to show you. Right, so you've got my window back again. So we're back here, but can I show you Teign Valley Larder, just as an example? So they put themselves on just before Christmas. Fabulous again. And actually, when you talked about food banks and that, yeah, so we've got Teign Valley Larder. They have categorized themselves under community and under food banks at the moment. So if we add extra ones, that will be even better. So they've added their profile. But let's go back, so I can show the header of aDoddle. Let's go back to the main aDoddle homepage. Here. So if somebody comes to aDoddle, they can actually start searching straight away just from this header bar here. But they can search in other ways. They can begin your search, area maps, or recently updated projects. So I'm going to go to recently updated projects, just so that you can see. So we can see that this one, Charitable Waves, was updated 1 day ago. Then you've got some others. So you can actually see, and it's just the 9 most recent at the moment. Now let's go to area community maps. So the UK has 12 key regions. So let's go and click on Southwest. So these are our maps that exist across the southwest of England at the moment. And we're going to be adding 10 more, well, actually 11. I'm going to throw an extra one in because there's another area I want to do. Now, I know that we're down here in Devon today, but what I'd like to show you is a map where we're partnering with an organisation. So Bournemouth, Christchurch and Poole, and this one was launched with the help of Bournemouth University students last year. And Bournemouth University is one of our partners on this map. And because they're a partner, they actually have the ability to add extra pages that are relevant to their community. So they're working within the community. So they've got a page about the partnership, which says about why they're partnering and working together to create solutions. And then they've got another couple of pages that they're developing. So we're just about to start working with students again. So it's potential research opportunities and things like that. But why I wanted to show you this is that these maps aren't about aDoddle, these area maps. So if I go back to here, how many times have I got to click back? That's the joy of Jackie being dyslexic and forgetting bits. So let's go to Teignbridge. So the Teignbridge community map, we have a partner here. So we have spaces for sponsors to help us to pay to run it. We've got Recovery Devon who partner with us and Devon Communities Together. But they haven't taken control of the page. But a partner organisation could take control of this page. So say there was some crisis in the area, that organisation could add a new homepage, could add relevant extra information and manage it that is directed to the community for the community. aDoddle is here to get these started and to provide the technology, but we really want communities to take the maps over, and we're looking for connected organisations who are motivated to do this. So that's one element of it. Now let's go back to aDoddle and then let's do the main search and show you about that. So let's go begin your search. So I'm going to type in Teignmouth. It's going to go Teignmouth, Devon, England. I'm going to go yes. Now I'm not going to put a radius or filters on yet. I'm just going to click search. Here comes your map. Wait for the pinpoints. Now, can you see on this map that some of these are green, some are orange, and some are red? If a pinpoint is green, it means it's been updated in the last 6 months. If it's amber, it's 6 to 12 months. And if it's red, it's 12 months or over. So instantly the person searching can see how much they can rely on the information being accurate. How many times have you heard people saying, I found this organisation and then it wasn't there any longer. It had stopped being there. So they thought they had help and then they didn't. So let's click on this one, which I think is Team Valley Larder. Straight away, can you see this? You've got a traffic light system here. This shows it's green. So again, it's another reinforcement. This was updated in December. Now, if I go to this one here, this hasn't been updated since June 2018 and it's red. So if there was a supporter or a sponsor, are they likely to go to that organisation? I don't think so, sadly, and our research has shown that. Let's go to another one here. So Respect Yourself, Devon and Cornwall. They're amber. So you sort of know that you can maybe trust it, but you might need to do some double checking. Now, if you click, there's a little eye here. I don't know if you can see it. This tells you what the unique traffic light system means, so that if you haven't had an introduction like this, you can see. Now, I am going to, before we look at a profile, I'm going to add a radius. I'm going to add 5 miles. Automatically, you didn't have to press enter again. It has changed it to within 5 miles of Teignmouth. I now don't want to see it as a map. I want to see it as a list. Oh my goodness, look, I can start to see these organisations. Oh, Newton Abbot Community Transport, that food bank. It's amber, okay? Open door, Dawlish Museum. So if they haven't got a header image, then it just shows as grey. But you've got some information so people can actually instantly see an overview of the organisations. And you can also view these by distance or when they were last updated. And so that changes it. So the most recently updated Dawlish Walk This Way, Horsemanship for Health. You suddenly find a whole host of organisations you might not have found otherwise. Filters are here again, if you want to add filters. So you've got the radius, you can choose any of these, you can add a keyword. The more filters you've got helps reduce it down, But what we've heard from some people, by putting a filter on, they potentially didn't find an organisation that may have been able to provide them with some help. So anyway, that was just a quick overview of aDoddle and the ability to use it to search. So unless there are any more questions, I'd like to say thank you so much for your time. I'm so grateful for it. If there are any other types of sessions that you would like with more information to help support you to create your profiles, if you need some one-to-one help, I'm more than happy to put that some time aside for you and have a Zoom call and help you. Or run another session like this with a number of organisations and help you to add your profiles. Again, it's free, and this is about helping you to help the people in your community and help the people in your community to find you either for that help or to help you. So it's this two-way street, you know. It's not just for organisations, it's for people, but it's for people to help organisations as well. So Andy, are there any final questions, or are we saying thank you so much and goodbye?
No, just lots of thank yous and brilliance. That seems to be it. Yeah, lots of thank yous. Really informative. So yeah, some nice comments, but no more questions. I think that's it.
Fantastic. Well, I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of you for attending today. I'm truly grateful. I'd love to say your names, but I'm not going to just say names because of GDPR, and this is a recording, but thank you ever so much. I'm truly grateful. Please do email. If you want to email me directly, actually, I'm just going to type, I'm going to type my email address in here. Okay, and there is my email address that I believe. Andy, am I correct in the fact that I have just sent that to everybody?
Yeah, it's appearing in the chat window. So if you to have a check in the chat window now, you've got Jackie's email. Feel free to obviously take a copy of that and email Jackie directly.
Fantastic, and thank you so much. And yeah, I'm here at the end of an email and happy to have calls. And yes, it is being recorded. So thank you ever so much. Take care and keep safe, everybody. Thank you. Bye.